You are watching the Pan-African Daily TV with Dr. Susan Tata. The Africa we want: unity, consciousness, our culture, our spirituality, our history. One Africa for Africans worldwide. Motherlands calling its diaspora home. Join my voice. Join my team. Join my campaign. Campaign 21 hashtag 1 million subscribers on the Pan-African Daily TV YouTube. Be a volunteer. Apply now. Be the new Africa. Greetings, everyone. Happy Kwanza Day number 6. And today, I'm waiting for all of you to join before I start to, express. Where is the family at? Where are you at? Are you sleeping? And allow me to walk alone? Please, I'm waiting for you to join so we can start the conversation, okay? Ambassador Tony JAJA is also locking in. He's been here. He's been kicked out a couple of times, but I think he's connecting. Yeah. So join the conversation today. Let us take a retrospective of 2024. While we get into the new calendar year 2025 tomorrow or tonight, of course, in a couple of hours, we want to know how Africa performed in 2024 and how 2025 is going to look like. So we have our correspondent here, our peace ambassador for Eastern Horn of Africa, Ambassador Tony JAJA, which we all do know. Dr. Tony JAJA is going to give us an analysis of how we all performed, how the continent itself and its diaspora, challenges that we had, and on the positive things that we did in 2024, while looking forward to 2025. What should Africans be expecting? I mean, of course, we do understand that we had a lot of challenges, crises, political challenges, but of course, we did also record a lot of positive factors on the continent of Africa and also in the diaspora. So what are those things? And it ties exactly with Kwanza Team Day 6, which talks about Kumba. How are we leaving Africa better than we met it for the future? Okay, so it's the same thing. Happy Kwanza Day number 6. And our topic today is actually going to be an analysis of how Africa has performed in 2024 and how we are looking forward to 2025. So I want to welcome all of you that are joining. Ambassador Tony JAJA is already here. We are here, okay? I see you. You're here. Quarantine, you're there from Kumba. Hey, salute to you from Newtown, Barombi. I heard you lost a very youthful leader in your community, someone who actually was there as the voice of the youth and also actually supported young movements in Kumba, Barombi, Newtown, and that just suddenly passed away last week. So our condolences from Pan-African Daily TV for that lost out there. It also ties down with the theme of tonight. Like we say, we actually have lost a lot of young people. We've lost a lot in terms of conflicts and wars in the most part of Africa, the ones that are currently actually at war: Sudan, take it, Cameroon, Ethiopia, Somalia, all these war-torn conflicts on the continent. Actually, we recorded a lot of loss in last year. Even just that, just passed away, like this young champion in Newtown, Barombi. So it's really, really, it is sad. We do express our condolences even as we speak. And that's also one thing that we're advising young people, not just young people, anybody. Today, people are going to just go crazy for just another end of a calendar year that opens door into a new calendar year, 2025. It's going to be the same thing. If you cooked food today, you're going to eat the same food tomorrow. Nothing is going to change. The soup is not going to look different. It's not going to taste different. It's just going to be the same thing. So sometimes we have to be conscious. We have to be conscious on how we go along with these days. Nothing actually would change between these hours to the next time, to the next couple of hours. The only thing that would change is your mindset, is how you want to program it. So it's just another celebration, like another day. And just because in your calendars it's not going to be 2024, it's going to be 2025. So please, we're really cautioning you that will be going out, our children, our parents, elders that will be hanging around to celebrate the beginning of a new calendar year, 2025. Please take care. Take care of yourself. Be responsible as you drink, be responsible as you conduct yourself in this event wherever you are. But as for us, we're right here on the Pan African Daily TV, and the family is right here. That's the best place to celebrate our dreams, our goals for the Africa that we want. I think I'll be looking around to bring in Dr. Tony JAJA, but like I said, he keeps being kicked out of the stream. He's been here 3 times now, but I think he will join us. He will join us in the one spirit of Kumba. Kumba. I hear they call it Kumba. Kuhumba, but we call it Kumba, which is the sixth principle of Kwanza. Kumba is asking us, how are we going to leave the world in a better state than we met it? So it all has to do with the contributions and all the other principles that we've been talking about from day one. How are we going to leave the space, the world, our continent, our villages, our communities, our individual lives? What are you going to leave that is going to be significant for the next generation? And not just the next generation of your own kinsmen, but the next generation of Africans that are coming after you. How are you going to do that? So that's what Kumba is all about. And that's why we're taking this conversation with Ambassador Tony JAJA, who is right here now. Yes. And oh, I'm so sorry, my ambassador. I see the way you're going through a lot of challenges out there. What's your problem? What's the situation?
Yeah, I think so. Is asking me to connect again and again and again, but I think it's okay now.
It's okay. It's very okay. We're so happy to have you here, His Excellency. And thank you so much for coming to address Africans on this very critical moment and this special day where we're transiting into the next calendar year, 2025. Um, mhm. Right. I don't know what is actually the challenge out there like. You know, I don't know, but we just know that, internet and the network is really, really busy out there right now. We can imagine that. All right. I think I have to remove you from this other room and I put it into the next room. I think this should be much better. You were saying something, His Excellency. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. How's everything so far with you?
I mean, when I see you smile, it means the continent smiles. So I know everything is good. Even though, as a peace ambassador, you've always put on this power, energy, regardless of the situations that you go through, the mediations, like a peace ambassador, the conflicts at your doorsteps, starting with even your own house, from Sudan and Somalia, Djibouti, all these conflicts that we're currently going through. But regardless of everything, you have always put on that energy and that face. And a lot of Africans worldwide are expecting and are looking forward to you and actually emulating that power spirit that you ask in Africans never to give up. We really exceptionally thank you today for coming to address Africans and to give them some perspective. What happened in 2024? What is happening now? And what do we expect it to happen as we enter the new calendar year 2025? So over to you, my excellency.
Yeah, thank you, Susan Tata, for these hours to end the year 2024. And many people are things Many people are very excited that they are entering to the new year, 2025. And we know that 2024 was so challenges to many countries and many people in life. I think today we just want to talk about what has happened in 2024 and what has African achieved in the continent and what they have not achieved in the continent. What are the challenges that are facing us? And we have seen the beginning of 2024 with a lot of challenges that we have seen. Countries going through wars, countries going through pandemics, countries that's going through uprisings, political uprisings, and all and all and all. So Africa has been facing a lot of things that we have seen. We have seen changes that are happening. We have seen new faces that have come to leadership, leading nations, and we have seen new faces in the uniform leading nations like in Sahel. And we have seen many young people who have taken positions in their countries as leaders. And these are all the challenges. We have seen 2024 was been a very difficult time when Africa was not given a time to even to organize themselves, even to set up something that to be done in 2024 so that they can achieve before time. Always they put program, they put objective, they put vision 2024, and nothing is happening. We have seen something like that. We have seen the whole world are engaging Africans, like the BRICS summit, when the head of his states were there, like Chinese African summit, like South Korean African summit, like Italian African summit, like France African summit, and many other summits has been conducted outside the continent, and some of them have been conducted inside the continent, like the climate change summit. But these things, when I put it together, I have not seen something that has been achieved on those outside the external summit that has been done. It has just only promises. And you know, always when something is good for Africa, there's people who really go behind to work against it and will not allow the African to progress. And the Western world are not for the development of Africa, are for the delayment of the development of Africa, because they have a very great fear in them. Seeing if Africa is going to develop, like when South Korea used to be a very poor country 60 years ago, if Africa is going to develop, even to manufacture their own goods, having their own technology, so the West will be in a big mess. And that is why they will play a big role that they should not allow Africa to develop. And we have to take it very seriously, because it is not something secretly. They have been saying it openly, and we are listening to them, and we hear them. We have evidence that these people, they are not for the good of Africa as a continent. They don't want you even to have to add value for your products, for your resources that you have. They want to take all the raw materials and all these things so that they can develop, they can be rich, and is still calling you a poor countries. And this is really a bad situation for us. The players who always play for bringing down the elections and working against the true leaders that should come up. But now we have seen young people now who have taken over, like in Senegal, like recently in Botswana, and we have seen the first female president in Namibia. We have seen the old lady, and we have seen even the Somaliland, they have a new president now, and we have seen others. Some leaders have been re-elected, like in Rwanda, like in Congo, DRC, and other places. The only country that who promised to have the election and they failed to conduct the election to South Sudan, our country, and they have extended again another 2 years because there's a lot of challenges. Some of the agreement that has been they have signed in 2018, they have not implemented the agreement. Only 10% out of 100% has been implemented. 90% has not been implemented. The security, unification of the security and other legality that's supposed to be arranged in some of the constitutions, chapter something, chapter 1, chapter all this. So these are all the challenges, and we have seen wars going on in East Africa, and East Africa is supposed to work for the integration of the community, but there is war in East Africa. We have in Congo, between Congo and Rwanda, and then between the M23, they are fighting with the government. This is the challenges in East Africa. The peace in South Sudan has not been implemented yet because there's some other warlord who are still being engaged in a peace process, but they have not reached into the agreement. And we have Sudan, war is still going on, and the two military are still fighting. And even they want to form a two parallel government, the sovereignty government that is being recognized by international community, and the other group for the RSF, which is the other military faction that are fighting the military of the government, that they are going to form another civilian government outside the country. So this is all the chaos that is happening, and we have the war in Ethiopia, Tigray, and other groups. This is all the chaos that we have in East Africa and Horn of Africa. And then we have the dispute between Somalia and the Somaliland, and entering of the Ethiopian troops to Somalia area, but they have been resolved by the Turkish. They intervene, and now they have to work on the frame line how they can solve this issue according to the roadmap of the agreement that they just did recently in Ankara. So there's a lot of challenges here, and this is based on the war that is happening. Economically, Africa is still facing a lot of things, especially with the blocks. When you have war in one side, the issues of the economic growth is a big challenge. Like we have in ECOWAS, after Niger and Burkina Faso and Mali, they have formed their alliance, and they have the Sahel Alliance now. They have their own currency, and they have already withdrawn from ECOWAS as a bloc because of the challenges that they found when they took over the leadership, especially with the Niger, and they want to be invaded by the ECOWAS military forces, and that's why they went and formed their own alliance. And they are now working very strongly. Even they have paid the debts, the foreign debts. They have paid. They are free of it now. So these are challenges showing to other countries that this is the way we should go. This is the way we should own our own sovereignty. The people who are still have not paid their debts, whether for the Chinese, for the European, or for the American IMF or the World Bank, they still facing a lot of challenges that to pay back. But these things need a strategy. They should learn. If you borrow their strategy, you borrow their objective, you borrow the way these people did it, you do it with your country. But sometimes people, they don't want to do it for their own interest. It is not for the public interest, it's for the individual for the individual interest, not for the public interest. But the three countries, they did it for the public interest. That is why they have paid all the debts, and they have to establish themselves. They have to reorganize themselves. They have to do things together to put a strategy how they can have the economic growth in their country and into the community. The same thing now, the French is not there anymore. Chad even has joined them now. Chad has sent the French troop out of the country now. They own their own sovereignty, and they're being supported even by Russia, like others. So this is the things that are happening, are facing us. A lot of issues are happening, like pandemic in some other countries, and the climate change in some other countries. These are the things that we should cover this time. These are the challenges that we have been facing in Africa all this time. But 2025 is going to be another year that we should work for it from now. We should put all things right. We should put the plan. We should put, because geopolitical, everything is changing globally now. Everything is changing globally. There's a lot of challenges that are happening. So we have to organize ourselves so that when we enter to 2025, so that we can have our own gear to drive the continent into the right way and the prosperous way. We know 2025, this February, we're going to have a new chairman, the election for the new chairman of African Union. And we know Yusufi from Ali Yusufi from Djibouti, you have Raila Odinga, and then we have from the other candidate from the Madagascar. So we really, we are focusing to see whether these people are going to achieve what the agenda for Africa in 2025. And then we have to start fresh, really. We have to start fresh. There's a lot of things that we should achieve before time.
Wonderful. Thank you so very much. I think there are also a couple of elections that are coming up next year, isn't it?
About 7 countries are going for election.
Okay.
2025.
That's also a challenge that we should be looking forward to in terms of, I mean, it's literally, sometimes it's funny, but we even thank God that, these nations are actually thriving regardless of the challenges that we are going through. If you look at the challenge in Burkina Faso and the way that alliance have been built and the way they focus on it, I mean, it doesn't go without threats, external threats, isn't it?
Yeah, this is a challenging for many people. Yes, we can. We will not encourage the military, like the junta, to take over from Prime, because there's a good junta who have a heart for the country, and the juntas that when they took over the country, they become dictators. This is the problem here now we are facing in Africa. But if what the Sahel has done, other African countries should follow, or should adopt it, that one, they can free their country. There's a lot of challenges because the external hand is still there, challenging those Sahel leaders, with threatening them with assassination, even recruiting people from inside. Ibrahim Traore, more than 20-something times at the assassination attempt, but God has saved him several times. And he's the man that God has brought for this time so that he can be able to achieve the goal. And he's going to survive. So they will try, but he's going to survive. And these are the leaders that people are looking for. The selfish, this selfless person is not for himself. He's for the country. He's for the people. So when you put yourself, you give yourself for the people, you work for them. Somebody who doesn't want to gain to be fame, doesn't want to gain to be a rich person like others, but he want to build the country. He want to put the country right. Yes, they did it with Sankara, but they are not going to do it with this young man again. God is there already. He's there to protect him. That's why he built him from scratch, and he brought him to be a leader of the country like Burkina Faso. That is a real better example that people should look for.
Thank you very much, His Ambassador. If you look at the leadership, of the continent, I mean, with struggling with all these challenges, Ethiopia trying to get a mediator like Ankara or Turkey to be a mediator between the conflict in Somaliland or Somalia and Tigray and Amharic, just a lot coming on. What is the issue that Africa cannot solve its own problems? I mean, we heard last time that even the conflict between Ethiopia and Eritrea, we had his honorable ex-president Obasanjo, who actually mediated even the situation in Kenya. So why this time Turkey or the negotiations of Africa and neighbors? I mean, as a matter of fact, brothers that are in conflicts, and we will hold as an external force to be able to mediate, and even out of the continent. What actually was this challenge that was above the African Union to be able to mediate this conflict? What is the strategy behind? What is the force of? I mean, we've never seen like, for instance, European crisis or American crisis inviting an African leader to mediate in that conflict. So what role is the leadership actually playing? Does African Union say, okay, now it is not in our hands anymore, so we can have externals? I mean, it's just not understandable. What is the deal?
So let me just give you the example, like what happened to the Somalia one is very simple and very easy one.
Mm-hmm.
So because it is just a threat of where they want to bring conflict to themselves between Ethiopia and Somalia because of the Somaliland. Because Ethiopia was looking for the access. He's a landlocked country, he has no any port, so he's looking for the access where he can use the port. And then that's why the agreement came between the former president and then Abiy Ahmed, the prime minister of Ethiopia, so that they can use the Somaliland, because Somaliland is some of the country have not recognized as a country, as a sovereignty country, and some of the country they have recognized it as a sovereignty country. So this is where the dispute comes. The reason why the Ankara, because it was when this issue happened, the Egypt went and met, they went and have a military cooperation between Somali and Egypt, and that's why even the Egyptians troops are there to support the Somali against the Ethiopian.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the reason why the Ankara came, because Ankara has his interest and has his businesses in Somalia. So he doesn't want these things, and Somalia is an Islamic country. And always when there's anything that there's a playing of the Islamic countries, you will find the Turkey, or you find Qatar is part of it, or you find Saudi Arabia, or you find Iran. These are the people that who play the role of supporting the Islamic states. So, but this is not a big issue. I can give you the example how the African Union tried to solve some problems, like the issue of Sudan. Sudan is an example. It's the two generals who's now fighting themselves with the two army, and one of them, the president, and one of them was the vice president.
Oh.
And the vice president has his own troops, more than 200,000 forces, and the president is pure military from the academy, and he's the CNC of the army of Sudan. So these are the two who are fighting. But again, when the time came for peace talk, they push away African Union not to be part of it, because African Union play a role that when these wars started, they sanctioned Sudan and they suspend Sudan from membership. That is why they refuse for the African Union to be part of it. So now Saudi Arabia and America, they're the one who have taken the lead to mediate this peace talk in Saudi Arabia. And the other side, you have the Emirates are supporting the other side. And you have here Egypt is supporting the military in Sudan, which is called SAF, and the other one is RSF. So there is the conflict of interest here between the nations who are supporting. Now, again, I have seen Emirates government has approach the Turkey to mediate between them. So from time to time, there is the interest of the external hands. Always, if you don't meet, is a problem. And this issue is based on the Russian who want to have a military base in Sudan, in the eastern Sudan. And this Emirate want to have the military base in eastern Sudan, the same place. And you have America who want to build a military base. So if the outsider, the external forces are not there, I think they can solve their problem. And that is always my message to them, because I have involved with this issue before in 2019. And there was a peace talk in Juba. I was not part of the peace talk in Juba, but I was part of peace talk in Qatar. When I was called to speak, and I have given them what is now is happening, facing them now. If they listen to me at that time and they put my word into the practice, there will be no war in Sudan. But I warned them. I told the leaders, I met them, even in Khartoum, I talked to different parts of them. And even I told them that when you put the external to lead whatever you want to do, is a problem. Now, there is no any African countries who can go now and say they want to be a part of the government between Trump and Biden and all this, putting even solution. They will not even allow you to do that. But always when we have issues, the externals, we have to call the international community, we have to call the nations, we have to cry out always. We don't cry in. That is our problem in Africa. We always cry out. We need the external hands to come. We invite them. And when we invite them, we bring more chaos and more problem to ourselves. That is why always African Union cannot solve. For them to sit, to have a peace talk, they have to go out to European Union to ask funding for the peace talk. They have to call the international community to put money for the peace talk, where they cannot even raise this fund among themselves to solve their problems. Because everybody has an interest. And that is why if they don't bring the international community, who is going to help them to build or to develop the country after the destruction of war? Who's going to support them financially? This is the things that are facing African nations always. And when you see any conflict in the region, always the external hand is there. They are behind the scene because they don't want those countries to develop. It's period. They don't want development for those countries. And we have to be frank. We have to challenge ourselves. Even if you're opposition and you call the external hand to come and help you, you are bringing destruction to your people. If you're the current leader and you are bringing external hands to come to the country, you are bringing destruction to your country. And that is why it can be prolonged. And nobody can just give you free bread. Nobody can give you free bread. Nobody can give you billions of dollars to build road. For what? What are you going? What are they going to gain? Something has to be paid back to them. Your resources are the target, always. Yes.
I just want to go back on the issue of this foreign debts, and we know, or there's been a research going on about these debt traps of Africa. I mean, I can understand, or one can think that it is but a trick to indebt these countries, and so that the countries are dependent, like you said. It is impossible for African Union to mediate in these conflicts because or could it be impossible for them to do because they don't have their own currency? I mean, I can imagine, or I try to just understand the issue. If they had their currency, or had the possibility to be able to print their own currency, then they have liquidity, and so they could mediate. So they have the muscles too. But if they are dependable on foreign currency, and these countries are highly indebted by each amount of money that they inject into each government, which is probably just proportionate to the development or the resources or the services that they are benefiting from that country. So if the countries are in conflict, it is difficult. Where are they going to get the resource? Because they don't create their own currency. So they are dependable on the foreign economy or foreign debts or loans or something like that. So the loan is just tailor-made for their own countries. So they don't have an overdraft budget for conflicts. It's not sin when they are budgeting or taking those loans from IMF or anything. I don't think there's a space where they say, okay, you know, this will be a loan for conflict. And I think the Western world or the loaners, they truly understand the game, that they are limited in this possibility. So if there is a conflict, they definitely will run back to them, you know, to borrow this more money to be able, or to call them as the mediators of that. Do you think is the inability of the African Union, or you look at the challenges that they are going through, lack of financing because they don't own their own currency? I mean, the Europe can print how much euros they want. UK can print how much they want, or other economies, but you don't have the economic freedom. You don't have your own currency. How could you mediate? Because these are things that are very, very costly. And even just the second thing is the capacity building to run all that process of bringing peace together. So is this not another trap to always get the countries, you know, fighting each other, while, you know, the real people that are putting in the money are the ones that are coming again? Like, you cause a problem and then you come back to solve that problem. Is it correct to say so?
You know, the issue of currency in Africa is really a very pity one. Let me say it that way. Because when you are under the mercy of the IMF and the World Bank, there is no way that your currency can be a commodity. The only currency that is commodity now is dollar currency. And have you seen a currency being auctioned before? Have you seen something like that? It has happened in countries. I witnessed these things in South Sudan and in Sudan, where the central bank auctioned the dollar. You come and buy, like auction. Okay. That is the commodity. But you, as with your currency, has no value in the comparison with the dollar, because dollar has to dominate. Now we are now almost for 80 years a domination of dollar, or 100 years of domination of dollar, where now they will not allow you even to print any kind of money you have. They have to be approved by the World Bank and the IMF or ICF. These are the unit that is controlling everything that you have in this war. The war of Ukraine has exposed them. When they sanctioned Russia, Russia told them, okay, I have something that I can prevent you not to have it, like gas. And you have experienced this thing in Germany. I've seen that. And they, even for the wheat, because they are the biggest producer of wheat in Ukraine. And you have seen other things. And that's why the BRICS issue now, it become a big problem, a threat to America. If they stop using dollar, that is mean is a war. For America is a war. They have to fight for it. They can even create the Third World War because of this one currency called dollar. For your currency not to be above all the currency. Let me tell you, before independence of South Sudan, as the newest country in Africa, dollar used to be £2. £2, South Sudanese pound. $1, equivalent to £2. After independence, it reached to £3. The same IMF and the World Bank came when South Sudan was so stable. They have oil, they have other minerals that they can use to back up their economy. They say your economy is not strong enough. You have to devaluate your currency. Do you know what happened? From £3 to £18, it reached. Today, as I'm talking, that devaluation now has reached to £5,000, equivalent to $1. From 3 to 2 to 3 to 18, now is 5,000. 3,000 US dollar used to be, 3,000 pound used to be $1,000. But now $1,000 is 5 million pounds.
Ambassador,
can you imagine this thing?
No, I just don't want
It's
to
the
imagine
same thing. It's the same thing that happened to Sudan. It's the same thing that is happening to all the other countries. Like when they did it to Mugabe, Robert Mugabe, the late Robert Mugabe. When he took over the leadership, Zimbabwe used to be very strong in currency for 10 years. After Mugabe chased away all the farmers, they sanctioned him, they sanctioned the country, and even they print. Everybody in Zimbabwe at that time used to be a billionaire because 1 billion pound note is there, equivalent to dollar. Can you imagine? This is how Africa has been suffering. And you have resources where to back up your currency. Gold is everything. Congo has everything to back up the currency. Now $1 equivalent to 3,500 in Congo DRC. It's the same thing in other countries. When you go to Sierra Leone, when you go to Ghana, it's very high rate. And this is the inflation has been caused by the IMF. Because the governors of those central banks in Africa, they are like directors of their offices. They queue when they go to Washington for meetings with IMF to get loan from them. They queue them like the schools, they're like a student for the school. And they will tell you, you have only 15 minutes. You will go and discuss the issue, the economic issue in 15 minutes with the IMF and World Bank. And you are the governor of the central bank. You are in charge of the economy. You are in charge of the currency of another sovereignty country. That is a humiliation for us as Africans. We have to stand, we have to be strong to build our own currency back up with the resources we have. This is the only way we should be there. Now, when they sanction you, your goods cannot go internationally. It's the same thing. We should not be happy with Chinese. We should not be happy with the Russian that they are helping us. Everybody work for their own interest. It's a game. But where is our game as African? What are we playing for ourselves? What are we playing for the interests of the continent? We should do something for ourselves. We have intercontinental free trade, and we are not seeing any progress in it. We talk about the security. We are not seeing any progress in it. That's why you have wars. Still, Boko Haram are still fighting. Biafra now, they have declared their own state in Nigeria. And you have war in, as we said it, in other part of the country. Now you have Mozambique uprising after election. And you have about 300 people killed. And you have a lot of things happening. You see even in Sierra Leone and in Liberia, the parliament is burned down. And we have seen uprising that has happened in Kenya. It was because of the cost of the living. Nobody wants these things to be just allowed to happen while the young people are standing on their feet and they are seeing their future being destroyed by the leadership that is there.
Leadership is always going to be a big question and a challenge for the continent of Africa. And that's why issues like corruption, when you say these leaders are acting like the government or the governors that are protecting, the international organizations that are operating on the continent and like a sellout to their own people. It, like you say, it's pitiful. It's a shame because despite the strength and the power and the intelligence of the African, like we promote all the time, but that thing, I don't know whether it's wickedness or it's a defect, it's a deficiency in the gene of an African that is contaminated by that kind of procedure. Because it's impossible that we can talk about all the Black excellence, the Black intelligence, and this. And this particular leadership is assassinating, like actually literally promoting all this genocidal government in their individual countries, in their political strategy. I mean, 2024, like you said, regardless of what is going, like it seems and it looks like, no matter what, any government is struggling to just breathe. And then you will see, and the internal of these conflicts are Africans themselves. How can one actually justify? I mean, we understand when Professor P.L.O. Lumumba, we understand when Joshua Mapoga and other leadership is saying this leadership is just a mess of the first order. You have been sorry, you've been on the desk, you've been on the table, you've seen these things, how they play. Like you literally saying it's a game. I mean, how long does the Africans would have to suffer lack of jobs, climate changes, all these kind of agendas that they begin to bring, and literally they go back to say they have sustainable development goals. Like you push the button and then you come back again in another set. I mean, I'm telling you, African people, they are tired. What is wrong in this leadership? Is it a deficiency? What is it? What is that?
I think you touch about the corruption in Africa. And African, they were not corrupt before until the Western people came and taught them how to be corrupt. The corruption is not the DNA of African. The corruption is the DNA of the Western world.
Just hold on, Ambassador. No, I think this is the point.
Yes.
Normally we don't debate here. It is impossible for somebody that did not have anything in his gene, and then suddenly, normally, if you don't know anything, you would defend it. But if you accepted something that never was a part of you, and what on
this
earth
is where this is where they will change your DNA to their DNA, and you become like them. And they will teach you how to steal money from your people. They will teach you how to transfer the money and open accounts in the Western world, or buy properties in those places. They are the one teaching people, because they will do that to you. They did it to Gaddafi. Do you know Gaddafi? The Libya money outside was 200 billion US dollar. Did this money came back to Libya after the death of Gaddafi? No. Why they did not brought this money back? The money for Nigeria, when Sani Abacha took the money outside, did this billions of dollars came back? I met with a lady called Dobra in Washington, and she was narrating to me that I was the one who frozen the account of Sani Abacha of Nigeria. Billions of dollars. When Buhari came, Only they gave them $700 million out of the billions dollars. Where is this money? Why do you keep them there? If you're really for the interests of the people of those nations, you should bring back those money.
Ambassador, you who have been keeping that money, it's not
Bring
the
this
first
money back.
incident.
Yes.
Yeah, no, the person that is keeping the money, but the person also that you learn to steal this money, like, and they are seeing it. This leadership is a refurbishing a tunnel. Even the ones that are coming, they see it happen to their predecessor. What is it that what is the injection on it? What?
That is why I said it in the beginning. I said they are the one who taught people how to steal from their public money.
Yeah, but the people that
And
they
it's
taught
the same group who will come now and giving a report that there is corruption in this country. So based on that corruption, they will sanction you and they will not bring the money you stolen and you have put in those accounts back to this country. And this has been there for years.
Does that leadership understand the game?
That is the problem here. So it's good if you steal the money, build the country with that money. Don't put them outside. Because by the time you put them outside and they remove you from the power, you will not going to have any access for even $1 account. And this has happened to people. It has happened to many African leaders. They thought now if they take from here and they put it in Belgium, or they put it in France, or they put it in UK, or they go and buy mansions in America, or they put it in Dubai, you will not get it. Because by the time they remove you from the power, from the position you are, that is the closed deal of your account outside there. They did it to Mobutu Sese Seko. Who doesn't know Mobutu Sese Seko with all the wealth of Congo?
I wanted to say it, but the question still comes up, like they did it to Mobutu. It just a mess. But Congo is still in the same state where every person that comes out fall into that trap of the corruption. What actually is there? Like you say, okay, they teach you something. You have seen this thing did not work to my ancestors, to my leaders before. I still come, they micromanage me, they put me there, and I still do the same thing. What is that brain damage? What is that called? Like they say, doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting other results. When is Africa's leadership going to understand this game, as a matter of fact? Or they just love it too. At a certain point, they love it because they enjoy it. They promise you everything, and you're going to stay there. Because these are the cries we hear, the young people, the Gen Zs of Kenya, that threw themselves again to the street just a couple of days. And they're asking all these questions like, when will this madness stop? So how that's do you think that's the reason why at the end of the day some politicians or some mindsets are saying democracy doesn't work for Africa?
Yeah, democracy doesn't work for Africa. And we have seen it. It doesn't work for Africa. Because you are not free yet. Even if you have election, you have presidency, you have your own constitution, but the democracy doesn't work. Because that is not the kind of democracy that the Western world wants for Africa. They can talk about it, and that is why they put you in position, and then at the end they will say this is dictator, and then they will remove you and then bring another one. So this is the game playing for us. They are playing game for us. Changing seat after looting the resources, what we have. Now, if you said you want to stop and you want to develop yourself, you are the problem. You are the victim now here. You are the problem here. Why? Because they don't want to hear what is called development for Africa. Or Africa has to be strong economically. That is why you see the corruption cannot finish. Those loans is based on the corruption solid foundation. If I took the loan to build road, why I'm not seeing those roads? So where is the money?
Absolutely.
Where did the money go? You have to
Exactly.
ask yourself. If really the money come for the roads or money come for hospitals, I have to see the hospital based on the value of the money you have borrowed. Because you cannot do that. Zambia has done it, building an airport, because if I want to build something, an airport, I have to have a business study for that airport, how to pay back the loan. But they took the loan, the Chinese now are demanding their loan back, and this airport that they built has not recovered the money of the loan. And Chinese has to take over the airport to manage the airport until to finish their loan. So this is the problem here. If they build port for you and you don't pay that money, they will come and take the port and manage the port until they recover their money. You are not in charge of it anymore. So why do you take loans that is not benefiting the public? It should be working for all the projects, whether this is the for building houses. If it is for building houses, put it for the houses. If it's for the hospital, put it for the hospital. If this is for the roads, because of the insecurity of the country, put the roads so that you can have a security for the country. Because any roads that you have, it brings security to the country. If there is no road, there is insecurity in the country always. So that is why everything has to be put. And now we are buying the commodity, which is called dollar. Dollar is printed by America. They can print trillions of dollars and they sell it to you. Based on what? Based on the resources you have. It's not based on the pound or the shilling or the CFA that you have in those other countries that are using French money, but based on the resources that you have. And $1 of your resources is equivalent to $100. That is a chaos. That is a madness here. An African has to think out of the box how to manage their own resources. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy, but has to start somewhere. You have to say that, stop. I am going to own my own resources. Like now in Burkina Faso, like now in Mali, in Niger, now the uranium they are going to use for the power plant so that they can have electricity. That is a good one. And then you can sell to the neighboring who will buy from you. Now you own your own sovereignty, you own your own resources.
Mm-hmm.
And then the things that we have to do now, we have to review all the treaties that has been signed with those nations.
Mm-hmm.
These treaties that have to be reviewed, they have to be arranged again, and then go for something that can benefit the country.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how we can have a freedom and a social economic freedom. This is our chaos. This is our problem. The social economic freedom, if we don't have, there's no way you can even build the democracy you're talking about. There's no way you can even build a good institution that can run the country. It is a social economic freedom that we are looking for.
Mm-hmm. I like this comment that S.A. Smith brings here to the platform, and it's just but the way we always say. He said, "I like this discussion. What makes us so easy to be anti ourselves on behalf of others? It seems we functioned better when we were by ourselves in ancient African times." What do you think?
Yeah, we have to go back to our ancient texts. We have to go to the tablets. We have to read them back. We have to read our technology. How do we conduct our technology in the ancient days?
Mm-hmm.
How do we do our economy in ancient days? If we know that was the done in the world, and even Elon Musk, so why we do it again?
Mm-hmm.
How do they do? How did they make of that?
And all of a sudden, you see, many of the people who are in
how do they intercontinental?
Yes.
But it is
I'm
supposed
sorry.
to be managed-based economy that will drive the country.
I'm sorry.
Yes,
I'm
and
trying
this
to.
is the time for us
Mhm.
to rise and to go back and to rule. And implement.
You having some challenges? Oh my God. I think he's gonna be kicked out. Um mhm. Can you hear us, Ambassador? Wow, I think he's facing some connections and some challenges out there. We are on Happy Kwanzaa Day number 6, and the principle is Kumba. And Kumba principle is asking us,
So then you have your connection over there.
no, I think it should be yours. He can disconnect and reconnect again, I think. Is it okay? This is from his part. Okay. Like I was saying, it is the principle number 6 of Kwanzaa, asking questions. How are we going to live? I'm saying in our context, how are we going to live our continent um, more progressive, more healthy, more prosperous than we made it? That's why we're having this conversation. Because how are we going to leave the continent for the future? They keep talking about the future. Africa is the only continent that talks about the future, but the leadership is the oldest leadership that you have. They will cling in power, supported by those that keep them in power. And the young generation has no possibilities than to flee the continent. And it's very tricky because even though critics are saying it, and sometimes we can, oh no, but of course, it is very common to understand that they want you to leave the continent so that they can come back and own your resources. It's as simple as that. If not, you come. It's just a dilemma. And when they kick the young people come to like to Europe or to the other places. Then in Europe again, they face crisis of go back, like just toasting the African child from left to right, or like just in a bubble. What actually is going on? I mean, we might talk about comfortable situations, how we empower and engage every other person, but these are conversations we need to talk about. If something doesn't work for Africa, what works? What works? It's a bubble that everybody has been in. This leadership doesn't work for Africans, for the interests of Africa and its partners. I mean, that's what we hear. That's what you listen to, the stories, to the voices, to the cries. You see the facts on the ground. Migration within African countries, migration out of African countries, it keeps rising every day. A continent that is so rich has that kind of leadership. What is wrong? What is wrong? HAK, you said this solution is simple. What? Tell us the solution. What is simple in this situation? We want to know your comment. Text it in Ubuntu. Yeah, Ubuntu. Yes, of course. That's the solution for us by us. But how do we do it? At some time, it is even that power that is keeping Africa where it is today. So more solutions like that. We have to tap into the energy, into the spirituality of Ubuntu to be able to survive. Africans brought civilization to the world, and others learned from them and opened them. Even young generations are the ones used to cause who used to cause the havoc. So the issue is, what is the solution? Okay, so how are we going to leave Africa better than it is now? That is Kwanzaa principle number 6. It is not just about our goals, about how these are critical examples. When we put them, when we match them, and the state of Africa today, it is a pity, it's pathetic. regardless of how we want to keep it, we want to motivate ourselves, no matter how the situation is. This is the plight of the African, rich but poor. Its partners, they want the continent, but they don't want the people. And because the population is also booming. Look at the GDP. It's not only the negative things about the war, but Africa has actually really developed in 2025 in terms of its GDP growth. So some of the things are the little challenges that we go through, but which causes really great effect and impact. And we see it everywhere. Yesterday, it was Malawi calling out for help from the IMF for loans because they can feed themselves. And that was another question that we had to ask Ambassador Jaja, but I don't know. I think his connection is tripping. We just hope that he'll be able to connect again. Like the question that I wanted to put again was like, how can Africans not help themselves? 55 countries, one single country or 2 or 3 or 10 cannot bait out Malawi, cannot solve the problem of hunger in Malawi. Malawi is equally a landlocked country like Ethiopia. 54 countries cannot veto to negotiate peace on the Horn of Africa. It is always international interest partners who have business there, and because they print their money, they have autonomy over their currency that would dictate those terms to you. When is Africa going to get out of this bubble? The question lies very simple in the hands of the youth. It is in the hands of the youth as well. It has always taken the women and the Gen Zs of any nation to rise to its proper place. And now we can console ourselves, not console ourselves, but we can see also the strategic, the trajectory coming up in favor of the Africans. So it's not only the negative challenge that we ended the year 2024. It's just unfortunate that Ambassador Tony is out of the show, but we also are seeing a lot of progress. For instance, when we look at and that is another issue that I really wanted to ask him that question of, if you look at the independence of how Africa got its independence, it started one country after the other. And what we are seeing with the Sahel nations getting their freedom and autonomy to choose which partner they want to deal with is also a positive change that has happened in 2024, and that would begin also to follow suit. Another situation that we find powerful on the continent of Africa is even the declaration of the reparations by the Africa Day Team 2025. And we already see families like Dr. Marcus Garvey Foundation filing in and calling out for reparations from the American government. Okay, settlements. We saw the documents that actually signed and put in. We also have the family of Malcolm X that is filing in for reparations. So I think, every single development comes step by step as well. Of course, we have talked about the challenges, the wars, the conflicts and everything, but leaving the community, the continent the way it is, I think we are also healing a lot. The resilience that has happened. If Africa was just as easy to be beaten or to be taken over, we would not even have existed as a continent. So it is not just the playbook of that is written also that we see. Of course, it's a major problem. It's a major challenge that the continent is going through, but not only caused by its own systematic, but just a lot of challenges that we can also actually understand that this is a continent on the move. This is a continent that has the youngest population in the world. We already said it. 17% contribute the global population of this continent. So literally, we are proud and we can literally go to bed or celebrate the New Year calendar. Rest assured that the way the independence of Africa came, even though it was not really on that solid foundation, is the way the reparation and the breakup from countries like the Sahel Alliance and also the reparation processes. I mean, the African Union actually advocates for it and is demanding also this reparation, whether it's another trick to get the money into the systems and own them. But we see that this reparations is going to go individually. Countries have the right, if you can show the evidence and everything, not evidence, I mean, it's clear that individual countries would be asking reparation depending on the situations that they face in their individual countries. But not only that, but also the leadership. Okay, if they evidence like the situation of Malcolm X, of course, reparations, like the situation of Honorable Marcus Garvey. Of course, now the son has petitioned and the foundation. So honestly, it is going to be coming step by step, and we can really see a progressive Africa that is going to come, is going to actually defend its policies that would really gain the independence that they lobby for. I'm saying Dr. Tony is trying to join. Let's just be patient, and I think he'll be able to access us here. So I wanted to play a video, and that's the video that is just bringing me some kind of some kind of hit back here. But I think it's loaded, and I would download it. Just how do we have to do this? I want to actually kind of like, we need to download it to be able to upload it. Oh my God. The volume is what is might challenge you here. But of course, okay. So while it's downloading, and we put, because this video is showing the kind of solutions that we need, and it's a it's a youth that did that video that is circulating now. So those are the challenges that we're looking forward as we enter into the new year calendar 2025, right? We're not just going to only celebrate, but we have to understand how is the continent federating, what are our own challenges that we also contribute in causing it, in being a part of it. But of course, naturally, what are the steps in the future? So I think we are not just only playing the pity party game here, but of course, we do understand the challenges that we're going through. And like our brother HK said, I mean, the solution is Ubuntu. The solution is unity. The solution is the collective. Like we've been talking on all the Kwanza principles, right? Any country that set those rules is because it's burning. And honestly, it's not just our continent, it's the whole world, as you can see right now. But at least they have infrastructures, they have set up their economy in such a way that they can unsit while they're managing other problems, they're causing other havocs and looking how to survive by by their foreign policies. So we can literally say 2025, the next calendar year, we're going to see more progress. We're going to see more alliances join the Sahel Alliance. 2024, like he said, Chad is already part of it. Senegal is already part of it. Let's just begin to see how these blocks would operate, or how it would work in the interests of Africa. But like he said again, why should we always rely? Where is the African solution? Where's the African agenda? Where's the African agenda? And we know about the Agenda 2063 that is struggling. But if it is still with the engagement of its partners, I don't know how that can be an African-centric agenda. Of course, if we want to also follow the roadmap of the agenda and its inspiration, there's no way that if we don't have a currency, we don't have a common language, we don't have a system of governance that has autonomy over its resources, it will be difficult even to still realize that agenda. If we still have to have partners that have to invest in infrastructure, of course, nobody invests for free. If World Bank is putting in money in there, of course, it's a service that is offering to the African people. It never has been that it is a free loan or a free work. These are people that are into business. So yes, we have to stick on the energy of Ma'at. We know that balance is going to happen. Every single deal, bad deal, that whoever, whatever, we just know that you're going to get it. So we should not be too over negative about the issues that are going on. We do understand those are our challenges, but we do know that balance is coming, and no kingdom lasts forever, and no system has lasted forever. We need to be more conscious. We need to do more educational sessions on consciousness, because every other single thing that is coming up is coming to replace the intelligence of the humans. And if our intelligence is replaced, we're literally just replaced. But of course, and in that case, it's not only for Africa. So we're also concerned about the global development, and in the way, all these systems are coming up, the way they push the economy further, the way they push your mentality until you have artificial intelligence, until you have all these bots and stuff that is just driving the world so crazy. At some point, pull back, think, and stay human. I want to end it up, like I said, that we are wishing, particularly on the Pan-African Daily TV, we know in a couple of hours, people will be going out to celebrate. Those of you that will be celebrating in whatever format that you had to celebrate, please be wise. It is just a simple change of a calendar year. So, in a couple of hours, instead of 2024, you would write 2025. Nothing else would change apart from your mind and the figures that would change. Nothing. I said it in the beginning. If you just prepare food, you just cook your soup. And after 4 hours from now, it's going to taste the same. Nothing is going to change. It is going to just be 2025, yes, 1st of January 2025, but your soup is going to taste the same. You're going to look the same. You're not going to move an inch. Okay, so please, when we go out there, let's be careful how we celebrate, because most people are going to cause more problems. Our young people, please don't drink. Drink water. Water is a mineral drink. When you go to the bars, common water, you can drink and you can still feel good. It's all in your mind. When your mind is healed, water tastes like any other thing that tastes. Okay? So please be careful out there. I'm very happy His Excellency is back. Thank you so very much. I know you've been suffering, but in the meantime, where you were away, we just put out, to be able to talk about the positive things that had happened. And the question that I was looking to ask you, although I already, when you look at the independence of Africa in the years of the 60s, it didn't just happen all. It took step by step, country by country, nation by nation, to be able to get the freedom. Now, do we see this also happening in the process of, like, we see the Sahel alliance, breaking up? We see even the issues of reparations that are actually being laudable and clear. That's the beginning of the freedom of Africa, but this time a true freedom of Africa by Africans. What do you think about that?
Yeah, this is the time, as we said, the Africa is rising. This is the time that Africa now is rising.
Mm-hmm.
And they have now recognized their potential, that who we are exactly,
mm-hmm.
and what are we going to do. The good
Mm-hmm.
things, the young people now, they are awakening, and they are the one driving the force behind now, pushing those change that to come. And we are encouraging them to do more in a right way, not in the destructive way.
Yes.
And those who want to change nations and to lead, they should join the politics, and they should be part of that change. You cannot change from outside. You have to join the politics. Like what we have seen in Senegal, they have formed their party and they win the election. The same thing, it can happen with those young people. You have to learn how to play the game for the interests of the public, not for the interests of others. We have seen people who have promises, a lot of promising, as I said, Susan, one time I said, politicians, they are good liars. Very, very, very good liars. They lie very good. They can lie to you, and they can even convince you during the campaign time, and you have seen the heaven during that campaign. But after heaven, there is life. You have to see that. And that's why they promise sometime, like a wolf dressing during the election, dressing the chief, that he will change to be vegetarian if he got the vote from the chiefs or lions. This is the same thing that our politicians, they say. The time comes when they carry the dirty children. They carry the dirty children. They want to show that they love those children. But after election, you will not see even taking care of those children, even giving them food or something to drink, or even giving them a good medication. These are all political lies. And we have to have people who do the talk. We don't want just a talk. We need people who do the talk. When they talk, they have to do it. When they promise, they have to implement their promises. So you don't have to give people painkiller every time, because painkiller cannot kill you. And most of the politicians they have a mouse of painkiller. They give you painkiller to kill you, and then the time running, time going. But now they have the time has come. We should not listen to those painkillers politicians, because painkillers it will just cool down the pain, but the pain will come back. Maybe it will come stronger if you don't heal it. And to our young people, this is your time, this is your moment, and you have to take the lead.
At the peak of the speech of I sing it to the young people, because this is where we're hitting right hard right here. Okay, he's right back. Good. Go ahead.
Yeah, so the young people, we have to encourage them to engage in politics. We have to encourage them to engage in business, and we have to encourage them that they should engage, they should finish their schools. Many of them, they have finished their school, and there's no job for them. And this is the time for them. 2025, we want to see our resources to have a finished product in Africa, not to sell.
Okay. But we think these things are happening in Africa. I can guarantee you. A lot of young Africans are bringing innovative products to the market. Africans are hustling. They're into real estate. They're into innovations. They're into building. They're into architecture. They're into fabrics. They're into everything. The Africans are hustlers. The youth everywhere. Now we have to develop the mindset of supporting the Black businesses. I don't know how much time we'll have to say it again. And if there is anything that we have to start, we already said it, to enter into the new year, is to give our thanksgiving to Haiti. Okay, to IT, like my brother Ron Spears said yesterday. And let me just play a short video while we're waiting the ambassador to come, and you will see how Mama Bello explains what this soup jamon of Haiti is about, and how you can do your own soup jamon, and the spices and the ingredients that you have to put into this soup. But please, we said our New Year project is going to Haiti for the soup, for the independent soup. So let's just watch this.
Got another secret for you. A soup secret. Do you know that you must clean your journée? You know that's pumpkin, but we call it an Haiti soup. Learn the word journée. So we clean our journée real good, scrub it real nice. because we're going to cook with the skin. Cut it into 4, put it to boil, and when it's done, you can either do the blender or grater or whatever, you smash it, and that's how you start your soup. That's how you get all the ingredients, all the vitamins, all the potassium, all the enzymes that are in your joumou, and make the best possible soup. That was today's secret. Keep the skin in the soup. Take care.
Did you get that vibe? I'm telling you, Queen Professor Dr. Maina is just out of the space. Look at his, I mean, we should describe the soup. And that's why I was saying here, hey, it's not just pumpkin soup, okay? There's a lot of ingredients. Like you said, you cut it, you wash it, you remove it, you boil it. You can eat it, with avocado. You can eat it even with a sauce, like an accompaniment, but you can also eat it just like a dessert. I mean, we've seen that the kernels that come out from the pumpkin, how we fry it here, we do a lot with it. Okay, so but please, we are doing a Thanksgiving to www.soupjamo.org. You can see it, Freedom Soup.
Got another secret for you, a soup secret. Do you know that you must clean your joumou? You know that's pumpkin, but we call it what we call it in Haiti, so learn the word joumou. So we clean our joumou real good, scrub it real nice, because we're going to cook with the skin. Cut it into 4, put it to boil, and when it's done, you can either do the blender or grater or whatever, you smash it, and that's how you start your soup. That's how you get all the ingredients, all the vitamins, all the potassium, all the enzymes that are in your joumou, and make the best possible soup. That was today's secret. Keep the skin in the soup. Take care.
Woo! Okay. Today is today. Ambassador Tony JAJA, I'm so sorry, but it's your mission. You have to do it. You have to deliver. I mean, everybody is doing their own thing. So come on. Yes, just drop it. The message was powerful. And when the house is on heat, these things happen. Ambassador, you were telling your children, you were telling the youth of Africa never to give up, and that they should continue to create, and we should continue to support. Over to you. Now we don't have. On mute, please. Okay. Anyways, if we would not be able to make it, to have him to deliver this end of speech, and that was actually icing the cake, telling the young people never to give up, and that their continent is going to be owned and controlled by them. No other person, nobody is going to beat you out of your continent. If you feel like traveling, hey, African children, you can travel. Why not? The world is open for everybody, but don't run away and think that you're running, because the trick is to get you out of your continent, and they come in now and pussycattedly take your resources. And guess what? And you'll be coming back again to work for them. You'll be coming to work for China. You'll be coming to work in their fabrics or anything. Never take that route until you have the right position. The continent is offering everything. Ambassador, am I lying? Can you hear me? Ambassador, can you hear me? I just have to come back to my chat. Thank you, Sister Sherry. You say, could those in diaspora connect with the young people on the continent to do business? Yes, they can. Everything is possible now. And I think they're already doing it. And you, Sister Cheryl, you're doing that. You're making that happen. I know that when you ask such questions, it's a matter of like pushing the word out there to say, hey, how can we support our young people and put them in touch with one another to work together? We have already seen it in the area of business, how now we have a lot of African American artists, big artists that are collaborating with artists on the continent, or doing and getting big contracts and major gigs on the continent of Africa. So it's possible. Our only worry is if you come to motherland, please, just like we are on the sixth principle of Kumba, how do you leave the continent better than you met it? So if you go and you make those businesses and make those billions and sell so much albums, what are you leaving in the townships of Soweto? Right? So that is the mindset that we have to develop. For them to come together and do business is possible. It's already happening. We just have to push them further. But we cannot be sending our young people to create, or the young women. They are busy. They're doing a lot of things. Oh my God, there's the business that is going on the continent. We don't even have it here. We don't even have it, particularly in Germany. You cannot really go out and have a spa, a black spa, where you can have your beauty tips, or you can get a massage, or get your pedicure or manicure, manicure or pedicure. Really come out smooth, get a good relaxation where you can get a steam. Okay, you get it into the white community, but blacks are not developing those kind of businesses here, right? Braiding stores, even though our population is growing, our children have grown now. You don't find it here in Germany because we're still doing that kind of braiding at home. I braid my daughter's hair, and even my sons, they braid. My second son lives only on braid. He can never do any other thing on his hair, right? But you have to see, they have to travel so far to be able to get a braider to braid their hair, or to give them a haircut, for them to keep their identity. So yes, it's possible. I think there are a lot of possibilities. Like we were saying, there are a lot of businesses that are going on. Capital, we already talked about it. Without capital, without having a good network that you can create these products, young people are creating a lot, but we keep giving our money to non-Black businesses. That's the problem. That's the problem. Even if they open their shop, an African will not go. The mindset, the mentality is the problem. An African will not go. African will go to a Chinese. They will go to the others to give them money, even if when they don't want you. To be honest with you, we know shops here that you can even enter, just like in those days. No, they don't want your money even. They didn't just want your money. Keep it in your own community. So I think the mindset education that we keep talking about, regardless of how we say we talk, yes, Pan-African Daily, we are on the talking, and let the doers be doing it. Bring your projects here. We look into your projects. We promote your projects. People that could buy the projects, they buy. If they are goods, if they are trainings, if they are books, if they whatever we are just a facilitator to put out the word out there. Okay? So yes, people are making a lot of money on the continent than in the diaspora. People making a lot of money on the continent, people, than on the diaspora. You know why? In the diaspora, maybe in African American communities, or where you have Blacks of origins, it's okay. But on the continent has a market of 1.4 billion people. You open any small thing, it's full all the time. So yes, and people are living their lives. Apart from systematic political structures or everything that keep hindering, the normal grassroots people, which are our people on the street, they're doing better. They could do best, but in their circumstances right now, they're doing better. So we have to push harder. We have to focus on actually like pushing it higher for them to go more and more. So please, I will be rounding up the show. Have you just clicked and liked and shared this video? Please, if you haven't, just do it. Do it right now. Do it. Click, 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 and share. I mean, like the video. You have to like it as much as possible. You have to keep liking our videos, because our videos, we want them to rank so that it can reach out to our entire community. Our children are learning a lot now. We are not an entertainment channel. I'm so sorry about that. And yes, we're not doing some of those kind of things that would have brought billions of viewers here, because we're doing the right thing. Okay? Stars only come out in the night. They don't shine in the daylight. And that's what carbon is. That's what we are. We just do the specific things that we are. We're not in the majority mainstream, but we're doing the right thing. Yeah. We need to patronize our own businesses. Of course, that's what we just said. We need to patronize our businesses. Young people are creating, but we're not paying attention. They don't have platforms like Pan African Daily TV where they could come advertise their businesses. You know, you alone, Sharon, has empowered a lot of young people. We have Travel Light, Raymond, that is doing his stuff thanks to your support and others. So the more we do travel tours to Ghana, the more we support Raymond. The more we push out those that are traveling on the continent, even within the continent, to do cultural tours, the more we support these young people. Okay. And the more we go to their YouTube channel and look at the videos that they do out there. So that's a lot. We can support one another. Supporting one another doesn't mean you lose your own. Bring your own too. If you have a creation, you have a business or anything, come to the platform. We're going to support you. We're going to give you exposure. Okay. We're going to promote you. All right. So, So thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. I know you're going out. You'll be going out to celebrate. Enjoy. And we wish you a happy new year calendar 2025. Please be cautious out there. Enjoy and enjoy and enjoy, but be very cautious. Like I said, you can also ask for water. And please do not forget to like this video. Like it as much as you can and share it with the entire community. Thank you so very much. We see us. Tomorrow is the last day of Kwanza. It is about Imani. Imani, and we're going to get another brother again from Detroit, but this time, brother Dennis Boatwright is going to, usher us into the Imani Kwanza New Year, which is all about faith. Do not underestimate that. Faith, trust, reciprocity. Faith, it's simple as it is. It's not just the faith that you listen to believe in yourself. Faith has so many, 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 many patterns on how you can exercise it. Faith in who? That's the question. Faith in what? That's the question. So it depends on where you invest your faith. And tomorrow we're going to know about that. The faith that we're talking about is to have the faith of your community, the trust. Okay, be in motion. And that's why we give a Thanksgiving to Haiti on that day. So thank you so very much. I love you all from the bottom of my heart. You know it. Go out there, celebrate, and be cautious. Okay, be conscious. We also thank Ambassador Tony JAJA. I know you're out of the show. You did a fantastic job to come here, give the perspective of 2024 on a hard note, and also encourage and empower our young people and the African community worldwide to never, 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 never give up. On the contrary, to rise. We're going to rise to fall no more. You remember the song? Thank you, Stevie. Stevie said, Happy New Month. Yes, Happy New Month. Exactly. Happy New Month, January. Happy Dave. Happy New Year to everyone. Thank you to David. You can share your happy, New Year wishes to the community here. I'll just flip it on the chat. Thank you. Yes, Mr. Marshall is saying, actions doing, involve, participate, bringing forth fruits. Wow. That is good. And you say good night. And Marshall, you're going? Good night to yourself. And Sharon, you say, please consider being a membership of Pan African Daily TV 2025. Please consider being a member. Okay. You just need to go to membership on the Pan African Daily TV. The link that you're watching us, you see membership. Click on it. Choose the membership that works for you. We're going to be really, really thankful. And thank you for that reminder. I wish all our brothers and sisters and the whole family that could not join us here today. Thank you so very much for watching. Sister Reparation. Thank you, Sister Queen. When are you coming live, Sister Reparation? Please. Yes. A happy and a prosperous new year to everyone here. Happy New Year when it comes. Yes, celebrate with your families. Have a blessed year. We're sending you all the positive vibe on Pan-African Daily TV, celebrating with one another is the best thing that we could do, right? Blessings that anything by beneficiary. Okay, thank you, Peace Family. Thank you so very much, HKA. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Just giving out a shout out here before we close up. Did I miss out somebody? Yes, Uza Bani is here. All of the raw material on the continent in the middle of the universe means your own coin as a legal currency on the continent as manufactured your own weapons as a defense. Okay, thank you, Uza. Thank you so very much. That's also a business idea. Okay, for people who want to manufacture weapons, we do know that every other thing now is a business. Is that the spirit of business you want? Whatever. Mama Susan, I greet you with love, peace, and joy. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, great African Queen. Thank you so very much. Thank you. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you so very much. Happy New Year to all of you too. As you enter the new calendar year, it's just another year. Nothing is going to change, but your minds should change. Thank you, Brother Wade Numbers. Blessings, evening family, just joining the class. Thank you. But you didn't miss anything if you're still here. Dembo say, good job, sister. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for being here also. Please do not forget to like the show, like the show, like the show, like the show. Blessings. Blessings, Dr. Bello, for 2025 with love. Yes, Professor Baina Bello, we are just going to do the soup shamo, not only to do, but to also support your project as much as we can. You already said this. I think we got this. So, yeah. Oh, Sister Lisbeth, thank you. Greetings, family, right heart. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're already almost on the last candle for today, which is the green, and the last green candle is tomorrow, okay? For those of you that are doing the candle rituals. Thank you so much. Ooh, wow. Thank you. After heaven is all. Okay, I think I got everybody covered here. I think I have us. Jamal, you were also here. Thank you so very much for your contribution. And we wish you a happy new month calendar 2025. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I mean, I see a lot of people already running out. Some people already just being hype about it. Yes, it's a celebration where people gather together. It's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Just be careful out there. Yes. General Mosquito, thank you. General Mosquito. Greetings, Dr. Tata. I salute you too, my general. But mosquitoes, it's not as easy. Ask the colonizers what African mosquitoes did to them. Yes. General Mosquito, we salute you. Peace, blessings, and power. Thank you, Brother Parker. Happy New Year out there. Brother Parker, you said something yesterday that you developed, I think, streaming solutions with OBS. Let's talk about it, okay? Let's talk about it. That will be very essential. There are a lot of Africans that are creating streamings, and not just only that, we're having young people that are asking us to teach them how to broadcast and stream because they also want to be a voice on Pan-African Daily. So I think that will be really okay, creating studios and stuff. I'd use OBS in the beginning and all that. But like you said, you can create this kind of virtual studios. Why not? Let us engage you. That's what we're saying, promoting one another. Okay, I know a lot of people, and honestly, this solution that Brother Parker is bringing to us, do not underestimate it. In the next 3-5 years, everything is going to go digital. In the next 5 years, you look at it already, you've seen it. Please don't underestimate the power of the new technology that we're in the digitalization process. This is the age of it. So Africans, get on it. Get on it, okay? So yes, brother, we hear you. Salam. I think we did not salute you. Thank you so much, Salam Fiagome. Thank you. You said, let's have one African currency. All the natural resources they need is from Africa. Therefore, one is equal to one AF. African currency is 1 to 1 equal to $100. It shall come to happen. Remember, what you give in is what you get back. That's the energy of the African people. We've been saying it all the time. Ooh, Good afternoon, Aweko Benjamin. Aweko Benjamin. Thank you. Happy New Year. Happy new calendar year. And who again was here? S.A. Smith. I'm just going around the chat, like I said, wishing all of us a pleasant and a blessed, prosperous new month calendar year 2025. Who else? Betty Jenkins, thank you. Jenkins, thank you. Thank you, Queen. You were here. You are still here watching us. Thank you very much. We also have MRS set. Thank you. You were also here. We celebrate you. We thank you for your contribution. Kabokasa's sister. Hi, CUK. How are you going to, get into the new calendar year? Thank you so very much. Greetings to our people out there, to the community out there, sister. Thank you so very much. Michael Alexi. Oh my God, the Caribbean's in the house. Right here, right here, right here. Michael, it's been a long time. Yes, I'm so happy to see you here. Thank you. Thank you. And greetings to our people out there. Do celebrate well. If you're celebrating in that kind of way, please be careful. Damian Louison was also here, is also here with us. Thank you. You're already here around the neighborhood in Germany because we have 9:50 now, so a couple of hours to go. But Germans start already this, this light and throwing out all this light rocket. They do it. They started it since yesterday. Yes, so people are really happy with their lives to enter another calendar year. And there's nothing wrong with that. So we celebrate with you. We celebrate with everybody. Ahmed Hussein, you were here. Thank you so very much for being here. Please make sure you like the video, okay? As I'm calling your names and everybody that is here, just like the video. So I think we're done. Okay. Quarantine, you're watching us from Cameroon, Kumba Newtown. Thank you so much for being here. A happy time. Did I miss something? I'm always watching, my back office here because Marsha Lawrence and all of you are always giving me a feedback in case something I missed out here. So he's just asking me to check. What else? Marsha, no problem. Download, follow the video and contact me. All right. Mr. Parker, is it possible to share your email or contact? How did they reach out to you so we can share it with the community? So I think that was it. All right. Thank you so very much. Good night, people. We love ourselves and we see us here again on Imani every day here. Okay. So thank you so very much. Okay. Good night. We're ending the stream and we see us. You are watching the Pan-African Daily TV with Dr. Susan Tata. The Africa we want. Unity, consciousness, our culture, our spirituality, our history. One Africa for Africans worldwide. Motherland's calling its diaspora home. Join my voice. Join my team. Join my campaign. Campaign 21 hashtag 1 million subscribers on the Pan-African Daily TV YouTube. Be a volunteer. Apply now. Be the new Africa.